Hey, what's going on, you future architects and awesome creatives? In today's video, we're going to be jumping into Photoshop and taking a look at how to create some awesome custom brushes. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've just opened up Photoshop. What we're going to do is click a new file here, and we're just going to make sure that this is set to pixels, and we've got a width here of 500 by 500 pixels. At this stage, I'm not really worried too much of the resolution, and I'm going to put a transparent background. Alright, and click create. Alright, so that's our canvas area for creating our brush preset. And what I'm going to do is just open a photo that I took recently while I was out and about. Basically, what we're going to do in this episode is turn this kind of plant into a paintbrush for us to use later on in our imagery. So what we're going to do is first up unlock this, and obviously we don't want this kind of building or all this crap around. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to speed this up, but what I'm going to do is just select around the outside of this plant. You know, I think we've gone over tutorials in the past of how to do that, whether it be marquee tool, quick selection, wand, or whatever. For this, I'm going to be using the pen tool, and what that'll allow me to do is create a pen, and then I can make a selection from that. Right, and that obviously gives me up my marquee tool. So that's how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to speed up this next section, and then we're going to jump ahead. Right, so I'm just going to zoom in here, and this is going to be rough, but you'll get the idea. Alright guys, so I have just completely selected that. You can see all these anchor points from the pen. Now what I can do is right click and make selection from that. I have the option there of feathering the radius, so that'll basically just kind of feather it out from where I've actually selected by 2 pixels. I'm going to put it up to 5 because I know this is a relatively high quality image, and you'll notice there that I've now got a selection around all that vegetation. So what I'm going to do is I've got that outside area, and wrong button, Command Shift and I, so it's no longer selecting inside that those marching ants. It's now selecting outside, and I can delete that. So now we have our vegetation. Now obviously I'm not going to spend too much time, but I would actually clean all of this up down in here. For today's tutorial, we're not going to worry about it too much. I'm just showing the basics. So now I'm going to grab that layer, drag it up over to my 500 by 500. You notice that is ginormous, but we're going to scale that down. Alright, and scale it down a little bit more. Alright, so there we go. That's our new brush, and what I'm going to do though is just change that slightly. I want to have adjustments down here. I want to go into hue and saturation, and what I'm going to do is just jump up the saturation just slightly, and I want to go into brightness and contrast, and I'm just going to up the contrast a little bit and just play with the brightness. I'm just trying to make those different shades really pop, so that when we do actually apply it to a brush preset, it's going to look the best. Now I'm just going to drop out the blacks and whites, and I'm just going to play with these values just slightly to find a little bit of middle ground where I'm actually kind of happy. Like I said, this is kind of a rough brush. I would normally spend a little bit extra time on it, but just due to time constraints, I just want to keep it simple. Alright, so there's our finalized kind of brush. So what we can now do is go up into edit and define a brush preset. Alright, now I'm just going to call this shrub, and hit OK. Right, and now let's open up another file. Alright, And let's make this one a print, and we might do an A4 landscape, right? So let's just hit create on that. Now if we go into our brushes, you can see there that we now have our brush that we've just created, and you can see there that even with me increasing the size of it, it's still maintaining its kind of quality of that original image quite well. And that's just the real draw card of using a brush, is we can actually get some really effective kind of looks at this. But anyway guys, I hope you guys got something out of these brush presets and creating your own custom brushes in Photoshop. I'm going to wrap it up there guys. Yeah, so have an amazing week, and I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, laters.